sky is the sea, it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sail on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go.
What's happening, guys? Supernova here, back with another video.
And Joe from Seattle here, back with another video. Responding to a video that everyone has gotten to before me. I had this video in my backlog, and then I got distracted with other videos, and then everyone fucking got to this one first. But we're here anyways, so isn't that nice?
This one shouldn't be too long, because there's really not a whole lot to say about this topic.
And yet the video is 18 minutes long. Nice ratio, by the way. Thought you could hide that, couldn't you?
Now, this topic is actually a couple days old, but I wanted to make a video about something, and I wasn't going to make another video about Frosk, because everybody's making those videos now, and I already made mine.
I don't know what that is.
I do want to say, though, that I saw a video of this bitch legit saying that she is the Brad Pitt of lesbians. That's what she said. She is the Brad Pitt of lesbians.
So, used to be relevant, but is now old and washed up? It's a weird flex. I don't even know who we're talking about, but that's just a bizarre flex to make in the current year.
So on top of being batshit crazy and clearly not knowing anything about games, she's also quite delusional. And honestly, a liability at this point for G4. They really should just drop her. But anyway.
I honestly didn't know G4 was still around. I used to watch G4 when I was younger. When I was way too young to be watching G4. I honestly forgot they were still around.
Back to what this video is about. So a couple days ago, PC players finally got their hands on the greatness that is God of War 2018.
I mean, if you think it's great, okay. A lot of people seem to think it's great, but, you know, not the point of this video.
And ever since then, we've been seeing articles about PlayStation devs pushing to have their games released on PC, and then articles like this one where this guy is trying to make the case for why every PlayStation game should now release day and date on PC.
Well, the devs want their games on PC because it's a wider audience. They want more people to experience the thing that they worked on and put so much of their life into. That's no surprise. You know that song by Daughtry, No Surprise? Yeah, I bet you forgot about Daughtry, didn't you? You uncultured fool. But it really isn't surprising that more devs want their games on PC. I mean, devs want more people to experience their games regardless of platform, unless they're a shill, which, you know, there are some of those. But yes, a lot of prominent PlayStation developers have been saying they want their games on more platforms so more people can experience this thing that they work so hard on. That's no surprise. And naturally, people are saying that yes, all Sony games should go to PC now because it's not a platform that really directly competes with PlayStation. You know, the PC is not a console. The markets are very different from one another. And there's an insane amount of money to be made on the platform. So yeah, why wouldn't you put your games on PC day and date?
And inside you're like, fucking no!
Bill Burr is a lot smarter than you. You might not want to use his clips.
Now let me be clear about something. As a PlayStation owner and someone who's owned every generation of PlayStation, including the PS5, I have zero problems with PlayStation games going to PC.
Now let me bitch about PlayStation games going to PC for another 16 minutes.
However, I'm only okay with it when those games have been on the PlayStation platform exclusively for at least a couple of years.
So you have no problem with PlayStation games going to PC after they've already been on the PlayStation for years. That's a good, yeah. No, you're gonna have to justify this one.
For example, God of War. God of War is just now coming to PC. It is 2022. That game released back in 2018. That's 4 years. If games that are 4 years old want to release on PC, I don't have a problem with that.
Well, the game doesn't want to release. It's the devs that release the game. Also, the threat indicator pop-up thing came up on your screen. This is my biggest problem with God of War. It's just while we're here, the fucking threat indicator that lets you know if somebody's behind you. Why can't you just pull the fucking camera back? Like, seriously, the field of view in this game is the biggest turnoff for me. Literally, my biggest criticism, the reason I just cannot get into God of War is the field of view during combat is so fucking bad. And then they have to add this threat indicator thing. Why can't you just pull the fucking camera back? Like the old fucking God of War games. Anyways.
If games that are 2-3 years old want to release on PC, I have no problem with that.
And I can't wait for your justification that will make a whole lot of sense. I need more coffee.
Do I like it? Not really, because I believe that PlayStation exclusives should be only on PlayStation platforms.
So you don't have a problem with it, you're completely fine with it, but also you don't like it. Got it. That was fast.
However, I understand business,
You literally do not.
and if games want to go to PC 2, 3, 4 years after they were released exclusively for a PlayStation console, I don't have a problem with that.
You just said you did, though.
That being said, releasing a PlayStation game day and date on PC and PlayStation console? No, sir. You can go fuck yourself.
Well, that was aggressive. I guess all the Sony devs that want their games on more platforms can go fuck themselves then. They can make you games, but they can't make anybody else games. That's a good mindset.
Why? Because that's pretty much what they're telling me.
No?
I just invested $500 in a next-generation console called the PlayStation 5.
Okay, I invested X amount of money into my gaming PC.
I handed PlayStation $500
You handed Sony $500.
in order to get their next-generation console, to experience the next generation of their games.
I know where this argument's going. I'm really trying to bite my tongue and let you get your whole argument out before I respond to it, but it's like, I know where it's going. I hate it so much.
And they're going to go ahead and make those games for the PC guys at the same time. Those PC guys didn't pay them money.
If I buy the game, I pay them money, first of all. Second of all, how do you feel about multiplats? Like, you paid Sony $500, but then you played multi-platform games. This argument doesn't even hold up. Also, if your whole thing is you want Sony to give you games, like you want Sony Studios to make you really high quality games, why would you not want more people buying the games so they have more funding for their games? Like, when PC players buy PlayStation games on PC, Sony's still getting that money. Like, how are you missing this?
For these games, I paid them money. I paid the $500 for a PS5
Platform is irrelevant, we're talking about games.
to play next generation PlayStation games. Why the fuck should PC guys get those games at the same time that I do?
Okay, so you don't play any multi-platforms? Is that what you're saying? You don't play any multi-platform games? You paid $500 for a PlayStation, and you have a big stick up your ass about exclusive games. You would be a massive hypocrite if you play any multi-platform games at all. Do you realize that?
Why? Because if they do, then what reason was there for me to hand them my $500?
Because you like the system, because you like the services, because you like the platform. Like, there's a million, like, you realize the console isn't just the games on it, right? I mean, you're talking about the PS5, but God of War came out on the PS4. So you bought a PS4, and then you bought a PS5, and now you're playing God of War on PS5. Do you realize how stupid this sounds? What you're proposing is a world where everybody buys a platform and only plays games exclusively made for that platform. Nobody plays multiplats. And if there's a game that comes out on a platform that you don't have, fuck you, you have to go buy that platform. Fuck consumer choice. Fuck gamers having options. Fuck gamers getting to play games together if they don't all have the same platform. This is the biggest fuck you. Oh my god, I hate this.
They owe the PC guys nothing. They owe me. I'm the one that gave them money.
Wow. No. Actually, no. You gave them money, they gave you a platform. The transaction is complete. They literally do not owe you anything. This is the most entitled shit I've ever heard. Nvidia doesn't owe me shit because I have their graphics card. Ibanez doesn't owe me shit because I have one of their guitars. I bought the thing, the transaction is over. And in the future, if I want to buy more things from that company, I have that option. You did not buy a promise of exclusive games. You bought a console. That's it.
I'm the one that bought their console. They owe me games. The PC guys aren't owned fuck all.
Again, so how do you feel about multi-platform games? I don't understand how you're not seeing this. By your logic, you would be the biggest hypocrite in the world if you played any multi-platform game. Which, spoiler alert, you are, because you're playing God of War on PC in this footage.
So to even have a conversation about releasing games day and date on PS5 and PC, to me, is absolutely fucking ludicrous, and honestly, a big middle finger to me as a PlayStation fan end user.
No, it's a middle finger to you as an asshole who doesn't like an open marketplace and doesn't want other people to play games that he likes because you are so fucking married to a brand that doesn't give a shit about you. Sony doesn't give a fuck about you. And that's fine. They don't have to. No company needs to give a fuck about anyone. It's like I said, you make a product, people buy the product, transaction over. That's as much as they have to care. That's how business works. Welcome to the real world. If Sony sees an opportunity for them to make money, like by porting one of their exclusive games to a new platform, to a new audience that doesn't directly compete with them, they're not porting this game to Xbox. They're not porting it to Switch. They're porting it to PC. Because like I've said in this video and many other videos, the PC player base is pretty separated from the console player base. It's a very different world. The PC is not a direct competitor to the Xbox or the PlayStation because the PC isn't a console. It's not owned by one company. The PC market is very open. The PC market is very different from the console market. And for that reason, it makes sense to bring console exclusives over there before you bring it to other consoles or, as opposed to bringing it to other consoles. You see what I'm saying here? The PlayStation doesn't compete with the PC the way that it competes with the Xbox. So putting your PlayStation games on PC makes a lot of sense. And they're going to keep doing it. So you might want to get some more tissues.
Because like I said, I'm investing money into their ecosystem. I'm investing money into their products, into their hardware.
We invest money into their ecosystem and products when we buy their games on PC. Like, how is this going over your head?
Only for them to go ahead and make games for guys over there who don't deserve shit from them.
They're still making exclusive games. They're still making PlayStation exclusives. Granted, those exclusives are probably coming to PC now. It's very likely that Sony keeps doing this. It's very, very likely that Sony ends up going the Microsoft route. Maybe not exactly the same way, but it's very likely that PlayStation's entire exclusive library ends up on PC eventually. So fucking brace yourself. But what about all the other things that Sony puts that money into? What about their console itself? What about the services they provide to you? Like PlayStation Plus. How much money are they putting into getting those games for you on PlayStation Plus?
I'm the one giving them money. I'm the one buying these games. I'm the one who's bought these games in the past. Not those fuckers.
Yes, if the game is not on PC, PC players can't buy the game on PC. Thanks for pointing that out.
So, again, this idea of having these games day and date to me is ridiculous. It really is. And I know some people out there going to be like, yo, Supernova, that's a little bit selfish.
Did you say soulfish?
What about them? What about the PC guys? Why can't they get the games too? Because for me, to me, they're the equivalent of Gaspar Gomez and the Diaz brothers. And you know what, Tony? Tony, go ahead and tell the ladies and gentlemen what we think about Gaspar Gomez and the Diaz brothers. Yes, fuck them. Bottom line, fuck them. Now, I understand the thought process or mentality of, oh, well, that's additional revenue that PlayStation Studios can, generate in order to put into their next game.
Yes, you're on the right path.
Totally understand that, and I'm fine with that.
You're literally not.
But again, for me, this needs to be years after the game released exclusively for a PlayStation platform.
For reasons that you have amazingly laid out for us.
Like, for example, Horizon Forbidden West. If Horizon Forbidden West releases exclusively on PS4 and PS5, like it is,
exclusively on two systems, it's already a multi-platform game, you fool.
Let it run its course for 2-3 years. After the amount of money you can possibly generate from the consoles has pretty much dried up, then you release to PC.
Or, hear me out, release the game on PC day and date, and allow the PC version to go along with the hype train of the console versions, right? Hype up both versions at once, and then release them both at once, full price, so you don't have to release it down the line at a reduced price with less hype, and you would get even more sales. A lot of people aren't going to buy these PlayStation games down the line. They've been out for a while. They've been spoiled for you already. You already know how everything plays out. Maybe you played it at a friend's house or something. Whereas if you were to drop them on PC on day one, which, reminder, PC and PlayStation, very different audiences from one another. If you were to drop the game on PC on day one, allow the hype train to build for both versions of the game, and get those explosive day one sales on both platforms, PlayStation and PC. This is exactly what Microsoft has been doing, and it's working for them. Halo Infinite is really big on PC. That was day and date on both platforms. Going back to Gears 5. Gears 5 had a really big PC launch. Game died out really quickly because it's a piece of shit, but Gears 5 launched on Xbox and PC day and date, and it had a pretty impressive PC launch. I think these ports from PlayStation are them testing the waters. They're trying to see how much of an audience there really is for PlayStation games on PC. My predictions? We already know Uncharted is coming. I think a couple other exclusives leaked in the NVIDIA leak. I'll put them on screen here because I just forget off the top of my head which ones were leaked. They're seeing how much of an audience there is. So, in the near future, I would say by the end of 2022, they're going to announce something day and date. That's my prediction. I think by the end of the year, Sony is going to announce their intentions to release games day and date on PC going forward. You can bookmark this video, come back to it. I hope it ages well, but that's just my prediction.
You've already made all the money you're going to make on the consoles. Now, open up the taps to the PC market.
There's just so much more money to be made day and date. Just business-wise, this doesn't make sense.
That way, you're still generating that additional revenue from the PC market, while at the same time giving those who gave you money for PlayStation consoles the thing that they are owed.
Oh my god. You are not owed anything in the future because you bought something in the past. You bought a machine to play games. You paid $500 to Sony. Sony gave you a machine to play games. The transaction is over. That's it. You are not owed a single thing. You self-absorbed twerp.
The things that they deserve for investing in your ecosystem and from purchasing your consoles.
Because apparently I'm not investing in the ecosystem if I buy this game on PC.
That is how you have your cake and eat it too. You both make the PlayStation fans happy, as well as get that additional revenue from the PC market.
Yeah, look, there's another 11 minutes of this video. Like, look at this. Look, there's fucking 11 minutes left of this. And I've been recording for almost a half an hour. I'm tired. I need coffee. I need to get this video out. And I can't keep doing this. It's like, I can't keep doing this. I want to be free of this pain. So I'm going to call it here. Follow me on Twitter. Donate with the link in the description. Listen to Curbside Anthem with the link in the description. Holy hell. Ouch. I'm in pain. I also really have to poop. Toodles.